Well, funnily enough, I come from a big family of aviation. So we have lots of pilots in our background and they're very much dominating the skies. I do enjoy flying. However, I was always interested in the ground. I liked speed on the ground. And it started really with just growing up watching racing with my dad, with my family. We have a race in Australia called Bathurst, which is part of the Supercars series, which is just the biggest race, I guess, in Australia. That was bigger than Christmas for us, watching Bathurst every year. It was the holiday.
Okay.
I grew up always watching all the racing on TV. I loved cars. I spent my teenage years just every chance I could get researching cars and planning out all my future projects that I was going to work on. We never really had an opportunity to race ourselves, but the passion was always there and the interest was always there. I said, everyone else can have the skies and I'm going to take the streets. That'll be mine. So it was just a progression of loving it from I don't remember a specific point when I really loved it. The first recollection would probably be at an air show. My dad was flying. He was doing some stunt piloting and they had a car show attached and I was glued to the car show side of it. I thought, oh, that's great. They're doing aerobatics in the sky, but look at this Cadillac. So
and everybody else was taken with all the things going on in the air. And you're like, hey, I've seen that 100 times. I'm going to take a look at cars. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. So, tell me from there when that started to where you are now. What's been the story? What's been the progress?
It was a little bit of an unconventional entry to motorsport. I didn't really get started in karting or anything of the likes. We probably didn't have the funds really to do that as a family. However, we did make a family friend who was very passionate in motorsports and was that way inclined. My sister started racing go-karts and he had a company that was able to sponsor her into that race. So I used to go support her races and watch her all the time. She's pardon me, she's a fantastic driver as well. And I used to go watch all of her races. And there was a time when they had a test day booked for the track, and there was a bunch of the go-kart drivers out there having a go. And they all took a break. And I said, do you mind if I take your kart out for a little whirl around? I just want to get out there. So I jumped in the cart, went for a ride, and I came back and everyone was kind of watching me and they were like, do you know how fast you were going out there? They were like, you were pulling some really good times. And I was like, I was just having fun. And from that, the family friend that we had was determined to get me into a car, and he took me to my first ever drag race. He took our whole family. I'd never seen drag racing before in my life, and I was just mind blown at this sport, the engineering and the science behind it, and the speed. I was taken straight away. And within a year, we spent so much time looking at cars together and watching all of the drag races from that point. And I came home one afternoon. He said, what do you think of this car? And I was like, oh, it's beautiful. We used to watch cars all together. So we'd always talk about how magnificent cars were. And he goes, I'm so glad you like it. I've bought it for you. And amazing. Tears. Just
I'm sure.
Amazing. That never happens, right? And
no.
Me and my sister shared that car, and we both got the opportunity to race. And progressively now we do run our own cars, and he actually races as well. So we have a bit of a team.